Hello and welcome to the sprints for the 2024 Read Along Knit Along. And Cher is going to be joining us a little bit late. She had some stuff to take care of. Hopefully she'll be on here soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to update you on my progress. So I do have the book finished. I finished it on audiobook, so my tabs actually don't go very far in here, but I am going to go through during the sprint today and tab some more. And so that we can have a good discussion on this, maybe in the next sprint. But yes, I very much enjoyed this book. If you are reading this book, let me know how you're liking it. I did see in chat somebody else that had been reading it and was enjoying it. So I really would like to know your thoughts. And I'll be back with my thoughts in a little bit. And then as far as my knitting progress, I have one sock completed. So I do have the yellow cuff, and then I did an orange toe. And I started my second sock, and I've got my cuff and working on the leg. So I'll be working on that tonight as well. And have my yarn for the orange toe. And I have a fairly small feet. You can see that's not too big of a sock, but it fits perfectly. That means that I have a lot of yarn left over. So once I finish that second sock, I have some natural colored fingering sock yarn that I'm going to do a short cuff, and then I'm going to do some like shorty socks. So it would have the white cuff, and I'll do a yellow heel and then the orange toe. So it is even more candy corn than this one. But there's my sock progress. And let's see. Hi, Courtney. So Courtney's about 30% through. She's interested to see what happens, but it doesn't flow as well as I would like. So I really enjoyed it, but I did have some complaints about it. One was at that beginning when I was confusing the characters, like they weren't standing out in my head who was who. And the two ladies whose names started with an M, I kept confusing them. I think one was Marion and one was Melanie, maybe. But yeah, so that was an issue that I had. And I did feel like there were some like abrupt changes of scene. But overall, I did like it. I know this author has written another series of cozy mysteries, so I don't feel like this is a debut where she hasn't had experience writing them. So I don't know, maybe just because it was in a different setting or something than what she's used to. But I was surprised by some of the things that happened later in the book. I did have my suspicions, and we can talk about that maybe later in the month. But yeah, let's see. Hi, Storm. And she says, that is the cool sock. Not reading the book, but wanted to pop in and say howdy. Howdy. Glad to see ya. And what are y'all reading and working on? I watched Stormy's video earlier today when she was announcing for in November. And yeah, I think is probably what I can manage. I'm trying to slow down on the reading challenges. Just because I'm finding myself in the last few weeks kind of overwhelmed by all that I want to read and feeling like I don't have enough time to read everything. But yeah, so I'm trying not to like be so gung-ho, which is totally my personality, and to like black out the boards and stuff like that. So yeah, but if I participate by reading one book, I gladly will do that because I want to participate in everything. There's just not physically enough time. And hello, God's brown-eyed girl. I think your name is Paige, right? And you are reading, Ariadne and the Legend of the Fire Rose. I have that on my Kindle, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So let me know how you're liking that. And Courtney says, I have a hard time with reading challenges too. Yeah, and I don't want to have a hard time with them, and I want to do them, but I feel like there's so many, and because I'm new to BookTube, I don't know if that's like all the time, if it's like that all the time, or if it's just especially heavy right now. But yeah, so let's see. Paige, yes. Oh, good. And you're loving it. Awesome. And Stormy says, I may only read a couple of books myself. So yes, just read one. Yeah. So I do. I actually, this is so fun, Stormy, that you're here because I didn't really do a full September wrap up. Well, I don't know that I did a September wrap up at all, but I did sort of participate in Vamptember. I read Vampirina Ballerina, which is a children's picture book, but it did mark off a couple of the prompts on that bingo board, and I called that good. So, all right. So let's see. Is anybody else working on any other projects? I had my in-person book club last night, and we were discussing the Westing game and from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil Frankweiler, which are two of my favorite middle grade books of all time. And the lady that was hosting last night, she always has like something extra for us to do during book club. So we actually made out out of the folded book pages a little hedgehog. So maybe during the sprint, I'll go up and get that and then show you guys when we come back from that. And Stormy says there are a lot of reading challenges all year, so she just just dip in and don't stress. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be my attitude. That, and I don't know if y'all know that this year I've been doing the 52 book club challenge, and I started out like really good. Like I was doing my little reviews and doing pictures of the book and like filling out my journal and everything. And this is about as far as I've gotten in filling stuff out now. There's no review. I think I only gave a star rating over here, but didn't over here. And I think, yeah, there's some more where I like filled in the title, but didn't like fill in anything else. And I think I'm supposed to be on this prompt here, and I don't even have a book picked for it. I did do this prompt, but I didn't fill it out. So that's, yeah, it's getting harder to keep up with that challenge with all the other stuff that I'm doing. And this is one that I want to finish this year. So I am going to be concentrating the rest of the year to try to work on getting this filled out more complete like I was in the beginning and to finish this challenge off this year. Oh, good. Courtney's going to be doing some writing. Courtney, I downloaded your first book and I will be reading it hopefully soon. You know, I am seasonal reader. So like in October, I like to read books about fall and like spooky, what I call spooky because I am a lightweight with all that. So, you know, but stuff like that's seasonal, but I will get to your books. I am interested in reading them. And Storm says, oh, that book sounds cute. That Vampirina Ballerina I got when my little niece, she is 15 now. When she was about 3 or 4, she's done ballet this whole time until last year. She switched out and she's doing Polynesian dance now. But she did ballet, and I got it around the time that she was little and in ballet because it's about a little vampire girl that's wants to be a ballerina. It's super cute. And Paige is not working on a craft, but working on a menu and guest list for your mom's 61st birthday. Oh, that is so cool. That's amazing. Do you have like a theme for that? Oh, yay. Yay. I'm excited. I am. I see all your Instagram posts and stuff, and you're already on your third book in that series. So, yeah, I need to start with the first one. And Stormy finished Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman earlier. So, not reading right now, but we'll pick up something later, but not sure. Yeah, I love to read. I've always been a reader. Um, and so it's rare that I don't pick a book. But if I am reading a book that I'm not as excited to read, it kind of does put me into like a little reading slump. And I don't want to start a whole bunch of books and have a whole bunch of books going. I can have multiple books going. I usually have a physical book, an ebook, and an audio book going. Um, but I don't like to have like more than a couple in each of those ways to take in books because, especially because I read a lot of cozy mysteries, I can confuse them and start confusing the situations, which I kind of was doing when I was reading Chaos at the Lazybones Bookshop. And I was also reading Steeped to Death, which is another cozy mystery. I'm not sure if it takes place in October. I don't think the town was Halloween themed, but the main character, her aunt, was like an herbal witch. So it had kind of similar vibes. And I was like starting to confuse the characters. So yeah, I try to keep to a minimum how many books I have going at the same time. Oh, her birthday is November 4th. Nice. Thinking 60s. Oh, yeah, I like that since she'll be 61, you said. Yeah. 60s are cool. That's awesome. Classic rock, especially if she likes that genre of music, that would be great. Uh, and Storm does read back to back cozies. Yeah, and I totally do. There was a time where I didn't, when I first moved to this, so I lived in one town almost all my life, and then I moved to this town that I'm living in now a few years ago. And when I first moved up here, I didn't know anybody. So I didn't have like all of the social, friend groups and stuff that I was doing stuff with, like I had back in my hometown. So I had a lot of time on my hands after work. And I was going to the library. That was like my main outlet. And gosh, I found so many cozy series that I started and just like was going through. I think that's when I found the Agatha Raisin books. And I went through everything that my library had. What else did I find? There was actually a series that took place in Sacramento, and it was like not quite as cozy. Can y'all hear that? I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I have the Sprint screen set up on another tab and it went to a commercial break. Um, but yeah, so that it was a cool series, but in the meantime, my library had closed temporarily because they built a new one, and so they were moving everything. And by the time that they got the new library opened and everything moved over, I had forgotten the name of the author. Plus, also I had already met Cher and was doing a bunch of knitting stuff, and so yeah, I can't even remember who the author was, the character names or anything like that, but it took place in Sacramento, and where I live now is pretty close to Sacramento. So I thought, oh, that's cool because it's kind of local. So I have to keep my eye out and see if I can find that series again. And Stormy tries to keep her books a bit different when you're reading multiple. Yeah, I try to do that too. And I do that like in most of the stuff that I do, like with knitting projects. Um, like I'll have one sock and maybe a shawl and maybe a sweater. I don't try to have two socks or, stuff like that, because I do like to knit with a variety. of size yarn and a type of yarn and stuff. So having the different projects helps. If I'm not in the mood to do a sock, I can move on to a different type of project. And Stormy, my nod to Victober is The War of the World. It's better than I thought it would be. I just started it today. I'm not sure if I've read The War of the Worlds. I have read The Time Machine, and I really like that a lot. And my nod to Victober, do I even have it here? Well, this is one of them. The Wit and Wisdom of Oscar Wilde's Wit and Wisdom. Look at how skinny that is. I've had this book for a long time, and then also The Importance of Being Earnest. So those are the two things that I'm reading for Victober. And, oh, okay, good. I don't hear anything other than you talking. All right, good. Then that eases my mind for that playing in the background. Hey, Celestria, how are you? All right, it's 4:16. What do you guys think of the sprint time? So this is my first, exposure to sprints this month, and I've been doing 30-minute sprints. Is that too long? Should we do like 20, 25, or is that not long enough? What is your opinion on that? Don't know how to knit, but trying to teach myself crochet. I love to crochet, and I found this cute pattern. I don't have it printed out, or I would show you, but it's so here around the area where I live, it's not too far from Lake Tahoe, like not real close, but not that far. And every September, October, depending on what's going on, we have the Sierra Nevada Yarn Crawl, and there's basically about 9 knit shops that are around Lake Tahoe, and they all get together for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they have special hours, and they all have like special events going on during that time. And there's like a little passport, and if you get it stamped by all the shops, then you can be entered in a drawing. And one of the shops that's in a town called Truckee, it had, so each shop also has like a project for that shop where you could buy the pattern and the yarn to do that project. And they usually have a knitting project and a crochet project. So the shop in Truckee, and guys, I didn't get to go this year because I got COVID and I was like quarantined during that time. I was so upset, but Cher went and she picked up some stuff for me, which was very kind of her, because I was like, sitting here feeling sorry for myself. But so the shop in Truckee had, they advertise their patterns and stuff on their websites, a crochet pattern for a mug cozy. So it's basically just like 3 granny squares and then a way to connect it around the handle of the mug. And so I totally found the pattern, got it, downloaded it, and I am going to be doing that after I finish these socks probably. But yeah, I love to crochet also. And granny squares right now have been calling to me. I'm working on a granny square blanket. So yeah, I'm excited about all that. And Celestria is good. I'm doing pretty good now. I have said in my last video that I have been like up and down with like getting sick, and basically it's just like congestion and sore throat. But it like tires me out if I can't breathe right. And then I just don't feel like doing anything. So I thought that I was going to get so much reading done the first week of October, and it took me the first 2 weeks to get that reading done that I thought, and I still didn't finish everything that I had planned. And Courtney says 30 minutes is good. And Stormy says most do 30 to 45, so 30 is good. Hi, Jamie. And she's cooking dinner right now. That's awesome. Guys, I had a HelloFresh subscription, but I had to go on this special diet, and then I couldn't do it because there's like too many like carby stuff in their recipes. But I forgot to cancel, and the box came today. So I have some turkey spaghetti and some thyme chicken couscous, I think. So one of those will probably be my dinner later on today. All right, so we're at 420. Let's go ahead and do a 30-minute sprint. And let me get that background set up, and then hopefully Cher will join us. She'll finish her errands and can hop on maybe before we get back. Let me get that set up.
Customize yours at stanley1913.com. Keep traditions alive with the new Thea collection from Living Spaces, which offers a fresh take on classic style for your entire home. These pieces blend function and elegance for heirloom.
And we are back. And hi, Cher. How are you?
Did you take it off?
Yeah, I unmuted you.
Hello? Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Are you on earphones?
Oh, there you go. I had to turn the volume up on the wall. I was,
Technology.
yeah. I was like, I can't. It says unmute, but I can't hear. Okay. There we
All right. So let's do a quick catch up.
go. Okay.
How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I was at the hospital today with my mom, so I read like a few chapters. So I'm just starting 16. So I'm on 133. I'm almost there. And then my
I
sock,
forgot how many chapters are in.
I
So is
want
that
to
like
say,
halfway? Yeah, there's
yeah,
32 chapters.
32.
Yeah, so you're halfway. Nice.
See, I thought I was further, but and
Well,
then
maybe there's shorter chapters at the end.
yeah, I noticed that a couple. I was like, wait a second, this chapter there were like 2.5 pages. And then
Oh, nice.
my socks, I turned the heel, so I just need to pick it up and then start on the rest. I like the little spiral kind
Yeah,
of
that's cute.
black. I'm just saying they're little groups of bats
There you go.
going in a circle because it's kind of pooling, but it's because it's in a ring. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
how are your socks? I know I saw an Instagram post.
I
Oh, what?
finished one.
That's awesome.
So I did the toe in the orange, and I think that's really cute. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, I love that.
And then my second sock, I
Oh,
started, so making some progress. I did want to be finished with this one by the 15th because then that's like halfway. And then it's like, okay, if I can finish the one,
right.
then I can finish the second one, by the end of the month. So I'm on track, I guess. But yeah, so that I'm that far.
Oh, that's great.
And yeah, I did finish reading the book.
Okay.
And yeah, so are you enjoying it? I enjoyed it.
I am. I'm enjoying it. It's just like it seems like every chapter they're introducing another person. Just when I get caught up with the characters and figuring out the difference between the characters and the dogs.
Yeah.
And
Yes. And
I'm like,
what's really funny is one of the characters is named Danby. Is that right?
yes.
Or am I confusing this with a different
Wait,
book
I
that I
think there's
just
a
read?
dandy.
Okay. So in my online book club, one of the ladies has a dog named Danby.
Okay.
And so every time they say Danby, I think it's her dog. And I was like, no, the dog is Jack. Danby is the girl. But yes, I've been having problems confusing the characters
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
because she talks about them so like humanly, where she's like, and then Jack gave me this look of, like, really, lady? And then I'm like, wait, her boy? No, that's no, wait. And then I'm like, Jack, what
Yeah.
happened to, everybody is so funny. So then I'm like, okay. And then I got him down finally. And then now there's another person who just got introduced and she's trying to
Yeah.
find out information about him. So I'm like, okay, so now here's a new name to remember. But no, I like it. It's
Yeah.
cute. And I think I really like it because now that the weather cooled down a little bit this week and it has those fall things, I'm just like, I want to go to that town now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
for
wishing
sure.
it.
I guess it's like based on a real town. We should like investigate and see. I think in Oregon
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
think in Oregon.
Okay.
So we should check and see because that's not too far.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, I did like it. I love that there was so much knitting stuff in it. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it
So
was
that was
cute when
good.
they're I think I just got over a part where they were talking about she was making trying to come up with a pattern for the stocking that it was like
Mhm.
Halloween and Christmas kind of,
Yes.
mixed, and then she was like, oh, and then when they were I liked how she explained, oh, and they have a table for blocking, and this is what blocking's about, and fingering what,
Yeah.
just all the
Yeah.
stuff that I was like not expecting in the
Yes.
book. So it
Yeah.
was kind of cool to
It
have.
was a nice surprise for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Let's see some more comments here. Yeah, it's, it is what it is. I go in waves, but yeah. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
And Groovy Pop Tart is here. Hi, everyone. I'm listening to a crime thriller audiobook called Guard Her With Your Life by Joy Ellis. I think I saw, did you do an Instagram post on that? I think I saw that today. Are you enjoying that? And Celestria, I just got settled in and I plan to, okay. You have to say, almost at the halfway point, how you're liking it. So I'm going to ask all your opinions because I just finished most of what I have an audiobook going, but I don't have any like ebook or physical book going. So these are the two that I'm considering next. I want to read them both this month, but I just don't know which one to pick up. So I have book 3 for a Lifetime of the Timeless series. And my cousin already read this one, and she's like, you got to read that one so that we can talk about it, which is fine. I'm going to read it, but I don't need to have it finished until right before that book 4 comes out. So I don't need to like finish this in October
Right.
because the other one doesn't come out till November. I think it's like early in November, but still that would be like a few days in November that I could read this. And then Spectres in the Glass House is written by the author that wrote this. And so I actually put this question up to my cousins group. And so my cousins and my sisters are all in that text group. And I was like, okay, which one should I read? So I got so far 2 votes for this one and 1 vote for this one. But yeah, so which one should I read? The Jamie Jo Wright kind of spooky thriller, or the more historical fiction for a Lifetime?
I would go
Gabrielle Meyer.
purely based on the title. I mean, because of, or a portion of the title, because I just watched The Lost Boys the other day.
Yeah, it's funny because my sister also, she's like, just because of the name. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Really?
But
I
I
mean,
did. I like kind of gave them a quick little synopsis, or at least like kind of, it's like dual timeline or this, that, and the other. And then also like did a screenshot of the first page of each one. And still, like so far, I only have those 3 votes. So let's see. And she's almost at the halfway point. Jamie's almost done with dinner, and then she'll be able to read. What will you be reading? And thank you, Celestria. The socks shares and mine, I think, are turning out pretty well.
I know I need to get some catch up time this weekend.
Cute socks, y'all. Were you knitting on anything at all? Thank you, Groovy Pop Tart. Were you knitting on anything else?
Oh, me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. I was just reading comments. I'm like, oh. I was trying to finish up a hat that I got with the my red hat. I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I kept going from rib hat, like I was just like, oh, it's going to be simple. No, I want texture. No, I want cables, back and forth. So then I just ended up like knitting 2.5 inches of a 3x1 rib, and then said that I'll just do basic, cast on some stitches, and then I'll start looking for hat patterns, and whatever catches me at the moment that I'm ready to do the body of that, I'll do that. And so
every time I think of a red knit hat, I think of that hat that in that movie Elizabethtown. What's her name?
Oh.
Kirsten Dunst. Was that her that was in that movie? that had that red cabled hat.
Right.
That's what I always think of when I think of a red knit hat.
Well, and that's what I kept. I was like, oh, I want a cable. I want a cable. But then I also just wanted something that was not that cables are not simple, like you can find a simple cable, but I just wanted something kind of basic, just like a throw on, like a morning walking hat or whatever, but that had just that. So you could just see the color. Like that's all I care
Okay.
about, having that color on my head.
So not related to me at all, but there's a pattern on Ravelry called the M hat. And
Uh-huh.
it's got like just a ribbing and then it's stockinette. And it's pretty plain and it's pretty quick. But I don't remember what weight of yarn it calls for, or if it
Okay.
could be like, like
Yeah,
you
if
could
you can
pick
just
and
kind of
adjust
adjust
it.
it.
But I've done a couple different ones of them and they're quick and it's a nice fit on that one.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want it super slouchy. I don't want it super, I just don't want it tight because with my glasses, I just want something kind of, when I think of a hat, like just a hoodie, but you know how a hoodie kind of just drapes, but I don't want it like, so many hats that are on Ravelry right now are just like, or not, they've been on there for a while, they're so slouchy in the back. And I guess I could just stop a couple, repeats to keep it a little tighter, but I just want
Check
something.
that one out and see if it will work for you. I actually even modified that pattern so that I could like wear a ponytail. So I
Oh,
left some out so that I could
put your
do the
ponytail
head
through it.
part, but pull my ponytail through.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen. She says, wow, how beautiful.
And is it just the letter M?
EM.
Okay, the E. Okay.
And it's just called the M hat.
M hat. Okay.
And I think M might be the lady that designed it. That might be her name. I'm not for sure. And Groovy Pop Tart says she did post a picture on Instagram today and she's enjoying it. It's a short listen at only 3.5. I thought that was 31. And I was like, that is not a short listen. 3.5 hours. And she has an hour left. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And Paige didn't get much reading, but decided on the salad. Ooh, that
Awesome.
sounds good. Apple, cranberry, and walnut kale salad. I love apples and walnuts and cranberries and walnuts. That sounds really great.
Yeah.
And Karen's voting for the Lost Boys.
Karen.
And Groovy Pop Tart likes the cover of the Barlow Theater. And Paige is voting for Lost Boys. Oh, Karen, are you knitting the M hat? That is cool. And she says it's worsted. So
Okay.
I don't know. What weight is your yarn?
DK.
DK.
But it's, yeah.
It's close. You should check it
Yeah.
out and see. You probably could
Yeah, I
finagle
could
it.
probably just, I can modify the decreases, because if it's just going to be stockinette after, I already did the ribbing, then it shouldn't be hard to, I'll just stop, see where it says to stop.
Mm-hmm. And Celestria is liking it. I think some major stuff is about to go down, and she votes for the Lost Boys next. Oh, the Lost Boys has pulled ahead. That might be the one. So I was listening, even though I have it physical here, to Halloween Party by Agatha Christie that I
Okay.
read every October. But because I wanted to work on my sock, I was listening to the audiobook, and it's narrated by Hugh Fraser, and he just does an excellent job of the Agatha Christie narration. He does a lot of the Poirot books, but just also, I want to say that he does like the Tommy and Tuppence books and just like other random Agatha Christie's, but he's an excellent audiobook narrator. So I was listening to that. And then I do want to read The Lost Boys of the Barlow Theater, because I also got this book that Celestia is reading. Look at that. Doesn't that look so atmospheric?
Yes, I love
So
that.
yeah, I want to get to that, but I didn't want to do that one first because I want to like wet my feet with her. because this one is like a serial killer story, so it might be more intense. I don't
Right.
know, but I didn't want to dive into that one for my first Jamie Joe Wright. But I think I will pick up the Barlow Theater book
Yeah, this
next.
I
That'll be
brought my
my
next. Once we finish this one, then this will be my.
vamp. Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I mean, look at that cover. How can you know?
Yeah, with that lightning.
Yes.
That
And it's
is
like just all the reviews on it sound really good, and it's chilling Mexican Gothic horror full of suspense that will have you tethered to each page. So I'm like, perfect seasonal
yep.
reading.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. And yeah, like I've seen this kind of going around for a while now. And I think I've had it since maybe the beginning of the year, I want to say. And I'm like, okay, we have to, it's time.
It's the season, right?
Yep.
And Celestia says Spectres has such a gorgeous cover. It does. Like I couldn't resist. It's
Mm-hmm.
really beautiful. And Jamie says, I love all the Jamie Joe covers. Yeah, they're all really cool. That look at that. That's amazing. Isn't that so cool? And I love that it takes place in this theater. You know, I did drama when I was in junior high and high school. And so theater is like a special place in my heart. And having been in an empty theater, you know, when you're just getting there and everyone's just starting to arrive to get ready for rehearsal or whatever, it's a different atmosphere than when the audience is in there. So creepy,
Mm-hmm.
creepy, creepy vibes all over. But yeah. All right. So we're at 5:07. We can go ahead and start another sprint for 30 minutes. We can make it just short of 30 minutes. So we'll read our sprint or whatever we're going to do until 30. Well, here. No, we'll do it until 40 because I want to show you guys this hedgehog that I made. Well, it's not done yet. I still have to put the nose on it and the eyes and then do something with the bottom here. But we did book folding at my in-person book club.
How
So
cool. Oh my
last
gosh,
night.
I love
So
that.
isn't that cool? And it was fun and quick. And I mean, he's not so even, but like for my first time doing this, I think it came out all right.
Yeah, it
So
looks great.
yeah, and I can't wait I'm going to do a little black felt nose and then do some like little shiny black eyes. And yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the bottom here. I could just like trim it and then just have the hedgehog. So yeah, but that's cool. All
I
right.
like.
So let's go ahead and see. Karen says, so cool. Let's go ahead and set this up to sprint for another 30 minutes. So that would put us at 5:40. Get that set up.
Why are California homeowners outraged about Prop 33? Families like mine worked hard to save up for a house we dreamed.
And welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, how did everybody do?
I did pretty good. I was going to share with you something funny because I was reading about they went to knit night
Oh,
and
yeah.
they were talking about she was looking at the Halloween displays, like the displays that they had up in the shop, and she was talking about an orange sweater with a bat motif around the bottom. Several hats were displayed on the short shelf, including a simple black and orange stripe watch beanie, a slouchy hat with ghosts and bats. A couple of hooks on the corner held scarves with baskets of orange and black. And she said, the shop displays will eventually be sold. And back when I was a newbie, dragged in against my will, I'd look at a handsome shawl once, feeling sticker shock when I saw the tag. But then I'd learned to knit, and once I factored in the time and cost of yarn, the staggering price made sense. It reminded me of the meme that you could buy something for $9.99 or spend $100 to make it yourself. And I was laughing. I mean, it was good we were muted. I was laughing out loud because yesterday I needed to get a bigger needle for the body of the hat. And I found a pattern at the yarn store.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like a striped cardigan.
Yeah, but I like how it has the narrow stripes and then the wider stripes.
Yeah, and then the whiter. And then it's kind of there's no buttons or anything. It just kind of wraps around you, which her display was. Here's a picture kind of.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It almost looks like a sweatshirt, like if you fold it over, you know what I mean? You can kind of blanket it. And it was a new yarn that she had just got in. So it was funny because she was like, "Oh," and so I started looking at it, but I was adding up the cost, and I want to say there's like close to 300 yards per skein. And I'm adding it, and I'm like, okay, if I do the large size or this side, and then I'm like, well, that's 100, 160. And here
Yep.
I am at the store, always like a sweatshirt for $20 or $30 at Target, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, but I'll spend $100.
Right? I know. That's
It's
like
so
Disneyland, the sweatshirts they were at one point they were like $60 and I was like, "Oh my goodness, $60 for a sweatshirt." And I was like, "Do I want to pay that?" Well, they're like 89 now,
yeah,
cuz it's been years later, but yeah, it's like the same thing, but I do spend more than that to make a sweater, to knit a sweater,
yeah.
but yeah.
And I picked this up.
Oh, it's one of those felted slipper kits.
Yeah, so I got the pink, the
Oh, that's cute.
hot pink, and it's got like a light pink and blue and teal. I saw the samples. They were really cute. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try one of those. I'm like, it did not come for this, but I was talking about it and she's like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't find it in the store." And then she was like, "Oh, it's right up front over here." So it was hard to pick a color though. She had like 6 different colors, but I'm going to go with the pink, see what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Celestria says that's so cool. I think she might have been talking about the hedgehog. And Grandma Susan's in the house. Good evening, all. And Sonia with an I. Hello there. I thought I'd pop in. I'm reading The Gourd Mother by
Oh,
Maggie Bruce. Is that like where it's gourd art? Like a cozy with that? And Karen's 84% complete. Good job. And Karen is 11. Paige is out. Good night, Paige. And yeah, so how did everybody else do on what you were busy with? And I don't know if any of you saw my announcement video that I did hit 100 subscribers a couple of weeks ago. And so I made these bookmarks. They're just like little fall bookmarks. and I was going to go ahead and mail those out to like 20 commenters on that video or on my Instagram post. So I'm getting ready to write down who all that is. And so I'll be doing another little announcement video with the names of those people. There might still be room on there. I don't know that there's 20. But yeah, all I need is for you to either email me or on Instagram message me your address, and then I can put those in the mail.
Nice. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Thank you. It was like, I didn't expect it at all. Like, I just am doing this for fun. So I was like, if it's just my family that's subscribed, I'll be happy. So
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, you're like, we have another way to communicate. Like, we can just sit
Yes,
at home and knit and read books.
that's right. And yes, it's a gourd craft mystery. And congrats on 100. Thank you. Yeah, I think I have heard of that series, but I don't think I've read it. Is it an older series? I did read earlier this year a short story collection, and there was a short story in there that featured a gourd artist. So I'm wondering if it's the same one, or if it's a newer one, then it's probably not that one, because this book came out at least 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure. All right, it's 5:46. How's everybody doing? Should we try another sprint, maybe a shorter 20-minute sprint?
I am good with that.
Okay, then let's go ahead and do another 20-minute sprint, and then we'll just see where we're at after that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what did you do during that last sprint?
I got to chapter 21.
Wow, that was a lot of reading tonight.
I know. 16 to
Wow,
21. Pretty good.
that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I worked more on my sock. So I think I probably
Oh,
added about an inch or so, maybe a little over an inch tonight.
yeah.
So that was good progress on that. And then I started this book. So I already finished the first chapter in both of the timelines. So I just started chapter 2, and it's already has me intrigued. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make dinner after this, and then after dinner I'll probably read this a little more. I'm not sure how much more though, because I felt like the lights were flickering, and I'm a big old scaredy cat, so I might switch to something else that's
Yeah, you're like,
not as creepy. Yeah, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. That was a good choice. So
yay.
yeah,
Good.
and let's just finish up the comments here. So 2005, Sonia says that was when her series was published. So maybe it is the same author. I'll have to check it out and see. And Karen says, pleasure, ladies. Thanks for sharing your time with us. Have a great night. Everyone, have a great night.
Yes.
Karen says she's still here. And she did decreases in 90%. Yay, that's good.
Awesome. Yeah.
So you're on the path to finishing that. So cool. Still liking it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I am. I'm sure I'm like excited. My goal is to finish this by tomorrow night. And then I'm going to try
Oh,
and work
that's
on
good.
my sock this weekend. Cause like you said, there's only what, 2 more weeks until Halloween.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to have the one sock done by this weekend, and then I can cast on. I think 2 weeks is doable for one sock.
You know what? It
I
is if you work on it. If you ignore it, it's not.
I'll just have to put
Obviously,
the other projects away and make that the number one priority, and then I can work
yes.
on the other stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I might have to figure out like how many total inches I have left to finish it and then divide that up, because next week, so I normally would have wanted to do sprints next Thursday too, but I will be at Disneyland on Thursday.
Ooh, fun.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. So unless there's a different day, maybe Tuesday. I don't know who else is sprinting on that night, and if I don't know if that works for you, but maybe Tuesday we could do a shorter sprint, or maybe just a check in
Yeah, just a
on,
little check. Yeah, to see how we're
yeah,
doing before the
just to
final week.
check in, and then do, and I don't know, are you planning on handing out candy? Or are you going to a party or doing something on Halloween?
Since it's third, I mean, we don't really. Ellery will probably go trick or treating, so I'm assuming she's gonna go with her friend. So I'll probably stay home and hand out candy. Yeah, we're not going out because it's middle of, or end of the week. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I usually go to family's house and hand out candy.
yeah,
So I'll probably be over there, but I have access to their Wi-Fi, so I can stream from there. So maybe we'll just do a wrap up and maybe just a
yeah,
couple of sprints.
yeah. That
So
would be fun.
let's plan for that. We'll check in on Tuesday, and then on Halloween we'll do the final sprint and wrap up this read along knit along.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And Karen says, yeah, she's enjoying her book and she's almost done. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a good night and enjoy whatever you choose to read or work on. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.